Welcome, friends, to a new episode of the Wordcloud Tarot Show. Today, it's the 8th of March, 2021, and did you see it last night? Did you see it? I haven't seen it, but everyone's talking about it. Meghan and Harry, the royals, they went and got interviewed by America's Queen, Oprah Winfrey, and, well, as I say, I haven't seen it, so I don't really know what happened other than what people are saying about it. But we can still do a tarot card reading on it. So we'll be using the Wordcloud Tarot deck. This is the deck I designed. It has the meanings of all of the cards written in words on the deck. So, for instance, here we've got the 15 of Trumps. That's the devil. All about deviancy and entrapment and rationalism. But we will be doing a reading today about the royal family, or about Meghan and Harry and their escape from the royal family. We're going to do a threads reading, I should think, because there's lots of complicated issues and influences to work out. So a threads reading is the biggest reading I do on this show. It's quite a lot of cards. We have a card for the best hope, and we have a card for the history, but then we also have a card for external influences, and another card for internal influences, and another card for waning influences, and then one for waxing influences, and then we have one that tells us about us now at this moment, or Meghan and Harry now at this moment. Then there'll be a card describing the obstacles that they have to face, and another describing the final outcome for the royal happy couple. Best get straight on then. The best hope for the situation is represented by the 6 of Pentacles. Now, the 6 of Pentacles, as you can see, is about graciousness and increasing well-being and health and compassion. Success generally is always the best hope for any project, so perhaps it's not surprising to see that pop up in that slot. But the history of the situation, is that any different? The history of the situation is the 18th trump card. The 18th trump card is known as the moon. The moon's about anxiety and ambiguity and trickery and slander and inadequacy. So this has been the history of the situation for that royal couple. We'll have had influences on them, of course, and some of those influences will have been external. The external influences, here come the royals again. That's the 14th of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is all about strength and conservative ideas. It's about economics and stamina and networking, and of course kings and painstakingly natural routines. So those are the external influences, but of course Meghan and Harry also influence each other. They also have internal influences, and what are we to think of those? Another Pentacles card, this time the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is of course about money, like all the Pentacles cards, and about beginnings, because it's an ace. So that makes it about new money, investments and holiness and children, mysticism and alchemy, all qualities to do with the Ace of Pentacles. Some influences will be growing less important. They'll be waning. And those influences are yet another Pentacles card. This time the 11 of Pentacles. The Page. Does a page count as royalty? He's getting towards it, certainly. The Page of Pentacles is about industry and manifestation. It's about thoroughness and punishment, and it's about rebrands and hiking. So those are influences that are becoming less important. Now, some influences will be becoming more important. They'll be waxing. And we have another Pentacles card. I've never seen a spread so invested in money in the Pentacles suit. The Two of Pentacles is about responsiveness and difference and team building and polarization. It's about change, mostly, it being the card about change. So all these influences, and this, of course, best hope here, history and the best hope, have led up to the current situation now for Meghan and Harry, which can be described as the Six of Wands. Victory. Perhaps because they have successfully left the royal family. This card is all about objectives and meeting your objectives. It's about acceptance and stardom and the fruition of your plans. So what obstacles do we expect Meghan and Harry will be facing in the future? They will be facing the obstacle of swiftness. The Eight of Wands. Now, swiftness is all about initiatives, new initiatives. It's about dread and dreadfulness, and it's about decisions that have to be made, about directness, and also about partnership. So these are some of the things that will have to be overcome by Meghan and Harry as they face the future towards this card here, the final outcome card. The final outcome card is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is known as interference, and it's representing ideas like self-sabotage and satisfying things. It's about illogicalness and electromagnetic waves even. It's about bad luck and defeat and bad news, and self-fulfilling is an important prospect to do with the Eight of Swords. Now, of course, no reading is just about the cards laying out the board. The real skill of the reading is working out the narrative that all these cards imply. So it's time for us to do the summary. So this was the hope that Meghan and Harry had. They hoped for compassion and generosity. They wanted graciousness and magnanimity as they used their fortune to do good non-profit work. That was always their plan, I think. And the trouble is this influence upon them, the royal family, the king, their conservatism and their economics and the routine and stability of the system was just oppressive to the couple. And I think this one here is Harry himself. Harry himself is the page, and he's a minor royal, of course. He's diligent and meticulous and passionate, but his influence, the influence of his upbringing, if you like, the royal part of him, is decreasing in this slot because of this internal to the couple influence, the new money, Meghan herself. This is his wife and his child. The dollars rather than the pounds. Conception and birth are two of the words on this card, and they produced a new influence on the couple, an influence that led them here to change. The team, they're a couple of themselves, and their resourcefulness, their strength, and their inner ability to grow and influence each other, to change as a couple, is what's brought them through this history that they have suffered. Through history, they have suffered this kind of howl at the moon craziness. They discussed on the show the slander that they got from the press and the anxiety that they might have felt from the royal couple, the royal family, and the deception and shame and insecurity that they suffered before they managed to escape the family. So all that's led them up to now, the show last night, where they had their victory, of course. They're scoring against the old family. They're successfully improving their lives and increasing in their confidence. But what obstacles await them? Well, they'll need to show strategy, and they'll need finality, and they'll need to move quickly with a swiftness and a candor and frankness of messaging, because while they have victory for today, the final outcome, more interference is still going to happen. The old guard of the royals, is sure to interfere again. They will need this swiftness if they're to avoid the obligations and the limitations that the old guard will use to interfere in their lives. So I think this is a fairly positive reading for the happy couple, for the couple who were on the TV show. They have grown through this craziness to have victory now, and as long as they can keep swift, keep on their feet, and stay ahead of the old guard, I think that they are likely to get some of their success. So that's good news for Meghan and Harry. This is just my interpretation of my reading. Of course, you may wish to do your own, and if you wish to do your own, you could do no better than go to wordcloudtarot.com and order a deck of cards like these with the meanings written on them. They're the easiest cards to use in the whole of tarotdom. Nothing could be easier than this. It's change written right there. Butterflies there. This, obviously Harry. I mean, look how easy this is. We'll be back in a week or so. Have a good week.